All right, let's try this again. Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope you all are having a great weekend. Hope you had a great day. It's been kind of rainy and dreary here today. Um, we don't have anybody in the comments yet, so it's just me. Um, yeah, we got 8 days till Christmas. Hopefully, you all have all your shopping done. Hey, there's Mater. How you doing, Mater? Hi, Ben. How you doing? Glad you guys stopped by. Just saying that. Hope you all have your Christmas shopping done because there's only 8 days left. Actually, 7, but you know. So, hey, Rail, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in, man. And of course, being next Sunday is Christmas Eve, we won't be having a live. So we're gonna take the weekend off and let you all enjoy your families and let me enjoy my family and uh, you know. Uh, well, that's great, Ben. I'm glad you got yours done or most of it done. Um, I I don't do a lot of Christmas shopping. I shop for my mom and brother and stuff, and that's about it. Hey, Demo Don, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. So, but yeah, I spent most of the day yesterday out in the shop. Hello, Lisanne. How you doing, dear? Thank you for stopping in and working on Monkey Business, the green and gray tractor. If you guys haven't watched the video from yesterday, it's my old stock class puller. We're upgrading her. We're going to put a Cub Cadet rear end in it instead of the Peerless. So I spent most of the day yesterday out there and working on it. So, oh, we got a partner in grime here. There he is. Hi, Mater. How you doing, bud? You're muted. Okay. Say hello. Oh, still can't hear you. Okay. Scott, thank you. Holy. Um, Thank you, Scott. That is definitely not necessary, but I do appreciate it. Um, yeah. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Hey, Roadrunner. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. Tommy, how you doing, buddy? Wayne, thank you all. It's actually chili. Oh, awesome. Chili and avocado. I looked at avocados today. I was going to pick some up, but they just didn't look appetizing. So, but hey, Daryl. Oh, buddy, take a nap when you can, man. If you're like me, you know. Low lids come in. Hello, lids.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
For some reason, this thing is wanting to act up where the other day I couldn't get the camera or anything to work. Now today the microphone.
I was having problems with that one time too. Turned out I needed to update the my computer was trying to do an update or needed to do an update.
Ah,
Hi, Mark. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in.
yeah. Ben, Lisa, Wayne, me,
Yeah,
Tommy, Low Lids, Daryl. I don't know who else I missed.
yeah, they're on the panel too.
Hello.
But yeah, like I was saying about the Christmas shopping there, I I don't buy a lot of gifts and stuff. I feel I do enough gift giving throughout the year, um, and that's the same way what I expect. You know, everybody does for me throughout the year, so I don't expect gifts at Christmas time. Just seeing everybody and hanging out with everybody, that's awesome. That's what I look forward for Christmas for. You know, so but uh, yeah, I was saying yesterday, or saying I was out in the shop most of the yesterday. Um, I was looking at the plasma cutters again, and I emailed them again, and never got a response to how many CFM their plasma cutter requires. So I probably won't be buying that brand. I mean, it's a good price. It looks like a really good plasma cutter and everything, but I don't think I want to go through the hassle that if my air compressor won't keep up with it. So,
What kind are you looking at?
uh, is it a Marowell? I got it written down at work. Um, they've been advertising it on Facebook and stuff a lot. Um, see if I can find it real quick. It's the same one.
I was gonna say I picked up a Miller a while back, but it needs quite a bit of stuff, and they were telling me about $600 to get everything to fix it. But I got it for free, so
Yeah. Sorry, Arc Captain.
okay.
That's the one I've been looking at. I've seen a lot of reviews on it. One of the people that come here in the chat, God, I can't remember his name right now. I watch his YouTube videos. Anyways, yeah. He's got their he's got the plasma cutter, and he's got their I think one of their MIG welders, and he's real happy with it and everything. And I mean, like I said, it looks like a really good machine, but the only thing they can tell me is how much PSI it takes at whatever amperage.
Right.
They can't say if it's a 10 CFM or 5 CFM or 3 CFM,
Now, what's the thickness it can cut up to? That'd be another question.
half inch.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, half inch at 50 amps.
Well, then ask them that question. How much air pressure do you need at CFM that you need at that ampage? Because that would be the highest ampage.
That's what I asked them, and they said, "Well, there's a chart you can look at." And I looked at the chart on their website, and it just gives amperage per thickness, or amperage per thickness per air pressure, not CFM. So, like if you're cutting, say, half inch at 50 amps, you got to have 60 psi. Okay, but how much CFM does it take?
Right.
I can have one of them little pancake things go to 60 psi, but they may only be 4 CFM.
Yeah.
And if you lose air pressure, you burn tips up. I know for a fact from work, because I was using mine, and my air compressor, the line that was going to it was shut off, and I started the arc, and instantly the air pressure went away, and it threw like big sparks and everything, and like totally melted the tip. So yes, I have seen the Arc Droid cutters. Those things are cool. I would love to have one. It'd be awesome for for what I do in the shop and stuff. I don't really need a big plasma table, but the Arc Droid's nice and compact and everything. And but those are way out of my price range. Let me get a plasma cutter first. So,
I mean, I wouldn't mind having this Miller working, but I just don't have the extra money to get everything it needs to make it work.
Hi, Apollos. It was fate that brought you here. So, but yeah, I mean, a couple things I was doing. Been nice to have the plasma cutter, but we made do with a grinder and a sawzall. And by the way, I bought the Bauer sawzall blades because I was at home or at the Harbor Freight. They're pretty decent blades. They're not. I mean, I don't think they would hold up like the Diablo blades, but you know, you're also paying 10 times as much for the Diablo blades over the Bauer ones. So
True. I mean, I've actually got a Diablo here, and I've actually had some of them wear out pretty damn fast, even though it's supposed to be pretty good. We got a mouse in the house?
No, dog sitting there playing with a toy.
Ah,
hi, Quick Wrench. 30 CFM. Wow. I've got a thermodynamics that'll cut up to an inch, and it only requires like 18 or 19 CFM at that. That's I think that's 60 amps or something like that. So, Gage and Coin Hunter, what's happening?
Hello.
So if Quick Wrench is right at 15 CFM, I won't be buying one, because I think my little air compressor only does 7 or 8, something like that. It's a Central Pneumatic one from Harbor Freight that they quit carrying. I bought it on closeout. I mean, it does what I need it to do, but so I guess I won't be getting the plasma cutter until I get my big air compressor.
and how big is your compressor?
The one I'm getting, it's it's the Central Pneumatic, the black one.
Yeah, they got several of those.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how many gallon it is. 20-gallon tank, I think it is on it, or something like that. Or it's the cheaper, it's the cheap one they had, and like I said, when they closed them out, so the wire blades aren't too bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that. Not the McGraw, the Fortress.
Yeah,
they've got that. Was it 27 gallon?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, and I've looked at. Now, the one thing I've been looking at is the decibel rating on them, and those Fortress are supposed to be pretty damn quiet.
Mm-hmm. Mudster said he used a pack of Warrior blades to cut up his HHR. Awesome. Let's see here. Hi, Barry. Merry Christmas, bud. Thank you for stopping in.
Hey, Mudster.
No, I at work we had one that the compressor went kaplooey, and they were going to replace it, and then they're like, nah, we don't need it. We've got plenty of air compressor. We got 2 of them already. So they pulled the pump off. One guy took that. He didn't want the tank. He just wanted the parts off the compressor itself. So I asked my boss, I said, well, can I have the tank and motor? And he's like, sure. It's a 2 horsepower motor. I looked around, and I can get a 16 or 18 CFM compressor for a couple $100 online. So, I'm going to get it. It's in storage. And of course, this time of year, all the storage stuff gets moved around, and it is buried right now with summer stuff. So it'll probably be spring.
I'm surprised you don't see about getting that one that Harbor Freight got.
The compressor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the cheapest one I found with a good CFM.
Okay.
It takes a 2 horsepower motor.
See, Briggs made it back from Texas.
Oh, did you say hi to Bocce?
19 hours. Wow.
He's moving. So, hi, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, Jeff?
I agree. Ingersoll makes really good compressors. There's other things I can spend the $2,500 on.
That's what I think of when it comes to the IR.
Yeah, my brother has an Ingersoll, and it's awesome. It's been flawless for like the last, I don't know how many years he's had it. But he takes really good care of his stuff.
Well, when I was doing automotive work, if you wanted something good as far as air tools, you didn't buy the Snap-on, you bought Ingersoll.
Right.
I mean, you would take an Ingersoll Rand over Snap-on Matco.
Yep. Well, I just my little 1/4-inch air ratchet at work is an Ingersoll, and it just finally quit working. And I was looking at replacing it and looking at the prices of the air ones, and I ended up buying a Milwaukee 12 volt. Now it's the original version, the slow version, but for as much as I use it, I only use it when I get into tight places and everything. So yeah, and I'm happy with it so far. I've taken out and installed 4 van seats with it. So we bought some new bottom cushions. We looked at having them recovered. To have them refoamed and recovered was close to $400. I went online and looked around, and of course on the old Jungle website, I found complete, just the bottom cushion with the metal base, the foam, everything all put together. It's bolted in for $155. So,
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, it took me about the first one took me about an hour to get the seat out, get it apart, get the new one put in and everything. But then the next one's only took me like 30 minutes. Pull the seat out, pull the bottom piece off because there's a bunch. There's like there's 8 bolts that hold it together, and take them out and put everything back together. Put the seat back in, and 2 of the guys were complaining. Their seats were so broke down, they were used to getting in and out of it. And the one guy, he's tall, he's like 6'4". He banged his head about the first half a dozen times getting out of his van.
Damn.
So I agree, Jeff. Snap-on air tools are junk. Yeah, it's hard to beat an Ingersoll air tool.
Well, Ingersoll used to make good stuff, but now it's made in China. If you look at
yeah,
it's not made. It's not the same quality as it used to be. It's made different or made cheaper parts or something or other. But
technology and labor and everything is what changed. When or where tools are made.
Yep.
And everything.
Quick Wrench says his shop has 2 7.5 horse, 80-gallon 2-phase compressors running about 150 psi. Yeah, that's a lot of air.
Yeah, that's what we had there at the place I was working at. We had like 250-gallon tanks and everything with the compressor, and they were both hooked up together. And when the psi and everything went down, one would kick on, then the other one would kick on. Mm-hmm. And when it got up to that pressure, both of them would kick off.
Yep. Arch's Garage, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, the truck garage I worked at, the owner there, he bought a backup air compressor as used, but it it come from a shop that was all air pneumatic. Everything ran off air. I don't know how much CFM this thing had. It was 3-phase. The motor was like 2.5 foot across, and it took a little bit to wind up. But when I'd hook my 1-inch impact onto it, it had enough CFM. If you weren't hanging on to that 1-inch impact, baby, it would take you for a ride. And it had, well, the tank itself was like 3.5, almost 4 foot high, and almost 10 foot long. Yeah, it was a massive air compressor. So, and that was our backup. air compressor. Scott says the airplane is 10 miles from his house. Awesome.
Matt used to have an air saw ran when he was down.
And Wayne says he's got a speed air compressor. It's a rotary. I looked at the rotary air compressors. Those things are awesome. If you haven't ever seen a rotary air compressor, they're tankless. The way they do it, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. They create CFM and pressure with no freaking tank. It's awesome. It's all just boom.
Oh. So as soon as you pull it and it sees that there's no pressure, it kicks on the motor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kaneen, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Opinion on Kerber rods. I know a lot of guys that run complete Kerber engines. He makes a good product. So, yeah. If I was building an engine, if I didn't already have rods that I use, I would definitely look at the Kerber rods. Okay, they're like a supercharger. Okay, Lodids, that explains how they work. They got like screw drives in them, so that explains how they build the pressure and the CFM so quick. You know, and speaking of superchargers, eventually I'm going to get that Isuzu engine out after I get the green tractor done, and I think we may try to supercharge that thing instead of turbocharge it.
Put a blower on it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it'd be interesting. No spooling up, instant pressure, constant.
I was watching your video.
Wow.
That storage.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you even ran that one?
It's been at least 10 years. Probably more than that. I'm trying to think. I've lived here 13 years, and I think I ran it the summer after we moved in here a little bit. So it's got to be close to 12 years. I wasn't for sure exactly. But yeah, it shocked the heck out of me.
Now, was that before or after you found out who Mark was?
That was after, because I used to run that track. Well, me and Mark pulled together years ago, and we didn't like hook up or anything. We just pulled at the same clubs and everything. I knew who he was, but I don't know people by names. I know him by like face and tractor and stuff like that. And then I built my little red tractor. They're my original twin. And I was running in the stock class at the time, and I've always been like social anxiety and a loner and all that kind of stuff. So I'd always sit off to the side, and everything. And all of a sudden, this guy and his wife showed up and just kind of like started talking to me and asking me questions. And hey, you going to this pool? And they kind of sat with me at the pools and stuff like that. And we just started hanging out and talking that way, and that's how we become friends. And then he helped me a lot with building the converting it over into alcohol, get me up into the modified class and everything like that. And yeah, he's the cause of my addiction.
I figured it was Andy.
Stock appearing open RPM Kohler 12 horse. I would run the C15 or C16. That's what I always ran, the VP fuel. Um, I never had really good luck with the what is that shit? They sell it at gas pumps. Um,
Oh, the non-ethanol.
well, it's not ethanol, but it's a race fuel. They sell it. A lot of times you get it at gas pumps, but I've never had really good luck with it because it's got water in it, and they sell it from a gas pump. I mean, how good can it be? It comes out of a tank in the ground. So,
Mostly around where
Oh,
you're
what
at.
are you talking?
yeah, Turbo Blue was one of them, but I can't even remember what the other one was. It was like the only fuel you could get around here, race fuel wise, unless you bought the VP. C16 will pass specific gravity for NQS. So I don't know what it is right offhand. I'd have to look it up again. But I believe C16 will pass the specific gravity. Now, when you say you're not allowed to run alcohol, are you allowed to run E85? If you're allowed to run E85, that's what I would run. I would find a good supplier of it, like VP or one of them, where you can buy it in a 5-gallon can and not at a gas pump. Just because the consistency of it's better, the water doesn't, it's not. The mix is very stable.
It's not contaminated like the gas pump.
Right. Like right now, I wouldn't even buy E85 this time of year around here, just because it's not even E85. It's probably like E72, because they cut the alcohol content in it down so much because it holds so much water, and fuel line freeze up around here. So, but yeah. But if you can, switch over to methanol. It's an awesome fuel. I love it. One, it smells awesome. Two, motors run much cooler on it. And for the most part, it's cheaper than running race gas.
It burns the eyes too.
Yeah, I mean, there's health warnings on it. That you're not supposed to like breathe the fumes and stuff in. And of course, I run my tractor in my garage, and I haven't had any kind of effects on it.
That's one thing. When I'm out there at the dirt track and everything, when they get those cars out there running the alcohol, well, you can tell when they're out there running because it'll start. You get too close, you'll start burning your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yep.
whoa.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the initial cost to flip over to alcohol is relatively more expensive because you got to buy the alcohol carburetor and all that kind of stuff, and there is a lot more maintenance to it. But
Hey, Renegade.
hi Renegade, how you doing, buddy? Because you don't want to let the methanol sit in your fuel system and stuff for too long, and you got to be really, really diligent about not leaving the cans open, and don't leave methanol in plastic containers because it can draw moisture, and it leaches into the plastic container and actually does something with breaking down the ethanol or methanol that's in it and stuff. And
What I've heard is, going out here to the dirt track, guys, they were taking a regular gas carburetor, and the whole thing they had to do was get the gaskets and seals and everything to replace in the carburetor that were made for methanol.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a big difference with the car carburetors and the small engine ones. Small engine ones, you got to upsize the emulsion tube and stuff in it, the orifices. And they're pretty specific about how much more. I want to say it's 10% more, but I don't remember right offhand. I've got it written down in a book somewhere of how much you got to drill them out and stuff like that. But with the car carburetors, you know, you just your adjusters and you're upsizing your orifices and everything anyway. So your jets and stuff anyway. So
How expensive is a small engine carb for alcohol?
a Midwest Super Cub, I just looked the other day. They're upwards of $400.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
And how much would it cost to convert a gas one over?
That you can buy the orifices and stuff for like around $100 or so, but when you buy the complete carburetor, they're already flow tested. They're ported. They're polished. They're everything's set. You just got to make your final adjustment and stuff.
Right.
They're recast carburetors that they've machined and milled and done all the work too.
So in other words, they've already done all the work that you would have to do.
Yep.
Just basically bolt on and adjust and go.
Yeah. You got to do support matching, but you have to do that with any carburetor, or should do that with any carburetor. But they're ready to go. Like I said, they've been flow tested and everything else. Hello, Kevin. Thank you for stopping in.
Hey, Kevin.
But I actually didn't. I've never bought my own alcohol carburetor. I'm actually using Mark's right now. But we trade parts back and forth. So
no, I just didn't know if it was worth the money to go and buy one that was already done, or retrofit a gas one to run the alcohol. Cost wise.
My very first one was one that I converted. It ran okay. It was very finicky on tuning. You didn't have very much. It wasn't very tunable, I guess you'd say. It ran the tractor. It got good RPM. As soon as I got one off of Mark, it was a night and day difference. The tunability, the reliability, everything was there. So, I guess if you're good at building carburetors or tuning carburetors, you can do your own. But myself personally, it's worth the investment. You're gonna spend a few $1,000s on building an alcohol motor. Why cheap out on the carburetor?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if something happens and it runs lean, you possibly just trashed a pair of $400 pistons. So, if you would have spent that $400 on a carburetor, you wouldn't be replacing the pistons, or having a block remilled or machined or
going and getting a new block in case it blew up.
Right. Exactly. So, I've had probably in the last 2 months, I've had like 6 guys call or message me wanting to know if I'd be interested in building an engine for them. And I had to be honest with them. I can't, in good mind and faith, say yes to them because of the cost of the machining right now. My machine shop, just to get the block done, that doesn't include the head work and everything else to get, we're talking twins. Just the block work itself is pushing $500.
Wow.
That's before I lay a finger on it. That's before you buy any parts. That's before, anything, And the last time I talked to them, which was in the summer, they were 6 to 9 months out.
Ooh.
And I'm sure, being it's wintertime, because they do big drag motors. I mean, that's their thing. The owner of the shop and his dad just like to play with these small engines, so they're like a filler. Well, wintertime, what happens in the wintertime? All the drag guys pull their motors out and want them gone through. So, you know, they they get
They get behind because everybody and their brothers bringing their engines
Yep.
in to get redone over the winter, get ready for
Yep.
spring.
Yep. Blew the lock off the starter. Lands on your foot. Yeah. Yeah. So, but oh, hi Andy. Didn't see you come in. How you doing, buddy? But yeah, a couple years ago, I could have built, a good running engine for between $3,000 and $5,000. Basically, almost double that now because of the parts have gone up, the machining has gone up. Um, you know, I can't really say my labor's gone up, but it has gone up some. But it's
Everything's gone up.
Yeah.
well, I can remember my first set of forged pistons that I got from my other end for my 20 horse. I paid like $250 for the pair, brand new with rings. And I'm looking at my next engine that I have sitting there. And I'm kind of gathering parts to build. The pistons for it, which it's a 25 horse. I mean, they're a little bigger, but not much. They're over $400 a pair now. So.
Yeah, it's just like for me, I was, finally found out what was wrong with the transmission leak on the truck. And it's like I went to go get the lines and everything put back on. I got that one line, that metal line flared. It's like no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to slap back on. And it's like, what the hell's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And I even got my a heater, the Cobalt heat gun.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would soften up the line. Lines themselves they're rubber, but they're not flexible anymore. Well, steel line 3/8, and I wound up measuring the rubber hose. They wound up using 5/16.
Yep.
And it wound up, the hose is so damn old and everything, it started splitting. No matter what I tried, it's like, nope. And I called around, and I got a local parts house. $5 a foot on 3/8 transmission line.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're talking about price going up. Yeah, that stuff was like, maybe a couple of bucks a few years ago. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, one of our Isuzus at work, it's an 04 tilt cab. It's on our dump truck, which goes to the salt. It's got a salt spreader that goes on it, so it's constantly in the salt in the wintertime. For the last month and a half, we've had a transmission line that's kind of weeping a little bit. Wasn't leaking, just weeping. So I'm like, well, I better get it repaired because I know it's going to happen. It's going to be 10 degrees out and full of snow, and things going to go out, and we're going to need the truck. So I'm like, no problem. It's the line that comes from the transmission. It has a remote oil filter for the transmission that sticks out to the side of the truck. I'm like, they're just steel lines into rubber, back into steel. I'll just go down. I'll take the rubber lines off, take the steel lines off. I'll have a whole new rubber line put on there instead of the steel line. Went down to Napa, which they do all my hydraulic lines and stuff. No, they're metric. Oh, okay. Metric fittings.
Yeah, you see, I
Metric
understand that.
Right, and they don't mess with metric fitting. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go to the hydraulic shop that's on the other side of town, and walked in there and started talking to them. And nope, they don't do them. They do metric, but this is some kind of weird flare fitting, whatever. So I ended up having to order the lines themselves from the steel lines from the Isuzu dealer. And these lines are probably 3 foot in length, steel. I didn't even get the rubber flex lines. I just got the steel part of it. $150 a line.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah. Hey Ken, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in.
Hey, Ken.
Hi Thomas, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in.
I'm a popping in, yeah.
Hey. Seeing Ben pop up there again. I wanted to ask him. Was it you, Ben, that Ian Matthew was talking about that needed a 16 millimeter tap? I watch Ian Matthew. He's a scrapper from over in England. He's hilarious. I love watching him. I don't do scrapping, but I love watching him. But just because he's funny. Some of the stuff that he scraps out and his commentary and stuff like that, he's fun to watch. But he mentioned he mentioned Ben's workshop, and this is our Ben's the only Ben I know of, Ben's workshop. So I just wonder if that was who he was talking about. So, but anyways, back to the transmission line. That he just popped up and it hit me in the head when I was talking about taps and stuff like that, threads. But and I actually contacted my normal Isuzu dealer on them, and they basically, they looked them up, but they couldn't give me a part number because I looked them up earlier, had them look them up earlier in the week, just in case I didn't, couldn't get the lines made or whatever. So he couldn't give me a part number. So my local Napa store, the one guy, he used to deal with this other Isuzu dealer, and he gave me their name. Dude's nice as heck. Called him up, told him what I was working on, told him, he goes, yep. He goes, I know exactly what lines you're talking about. He said, they're a pain in the butt to look up because there's like 7 different lines on this, because there's steel to rubber that go up to the transmission cooler and this and that and everything else. He said, but I know which ones you're talking about because they're very common where they're sitting at. They rust out. And he looked them up, gave me the part number, gave me the money, gave me the price of them and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, order them. So, and the funny thing is the 2 dealerships are in opposite directions, but the new one's about 10 minutes closer for me. So,
So you're going to the new one, huh?
Yeah, gonna try the new guy.
So how was his price compared to the other one?
Same price.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
right there. Hello, folk of YouTube. Sorry, that's an Ian Matthews line.
Yeah.
Hello, folk of YouTube.
I was going to say I got lucky in a little bit over a week. I found 10 feet 3/8 transmission line on eBay for like $24 plus tax.
Yeah.
It's more than what I need, but for as many feet that I need, I can get it locally. But I'm going to have extra.
Yeah. Thomas. That does suck. Had 8 1-gallon bottles of water fall off his U-boat and flood the aisle. Clean up. Aisle 5.
That's not good.
Yeah. The flares on their fittings are different. If like say Napa or the other place had the fittings that I needed, I was really seriously, because I got that new hydraulic flaring tool. I was seriously considering cutting the steel line because I can do metric flares. I was seriously considering just changing the flares on the ends of the steel tubes and putting, standard metric flare. So, but I said, heck with it. I don't want to get into it that much. So I just basically took the two flexible rubber lines, because it's a pressure line that comes from the transmission, goes out to the outside of the frame, goes through a filter, then returns back to the frame. And there's about halfway in between those, there's two rubber lines. And luckily, you can hook them together. So I just disconnected them off the steel line, hooked them together. They're not using the truck right now. It's going to be sitting. They called me Friday afternoon and said, hey, your lines are in. I'm like, well, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's 40 minutes away. I'll come Monday and pick them up. So,
Yeah.
Oh, 2-hour cleanup in aisle 9. Did you have to do it, Thomas, or did somebody else? If somebody else had to, c'est la vie. If you had to, I'm sorry, bud.
He probably had someone helping him do it. That's why it probably didn't take as long then.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Monday I get to go get those lines. If I go early enough tomorrow morning, I can get them put on tomorrow, and possibly get the salt spreader put on the thing. If not, I'll be putting the salt spreader on tomorrow. Or I may put the salt spreader on tomorrow and go get the lines Tuesday. I don't know. It all depends what they have waiting for me. So,
See what kind of trouble they get you into at work?
yeah.
Hey,
Oh, it was you and
he had help.
awesome. Well, at least somebody helped you.
Yeah.
But no, I've been going to Walmart like early on the weekend mornings, like 6:15 as soon as they open, because ours ain't open 24 hours no more.
No, ours ain't either.
And it's just funny, over the last like maybe 3 months, seeing the amount of pickup orders that there are people that are, picking the orders, how much it has increased over the last few months. It used to be, there might have been half a dozen people in the grocery doing it, I bet you Saturday morning when I went, and it was 6:30ish when I got there, there had to be a dozen and a half people pulling groceries for these pickup orders.
People are getting lazier every day.
Well, I think it's just convenience, because you can go in there at, say, 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning. They'll have 2 registers open, and all the self-checkouts are packed.
Yep.
And people just aren't wanting to do the self-checkout,
I won't go through self-checkout.
Nope. But I did hear a rumor, though, on online. How true it is or not, I don't know. There are a lot of Walmarts that are starting to phase them out.
Oh, really?
Yep. Going back to the that's one reason I started using the grocery delivery, is because if they're not going to have a person there doing the checkout, they're going to have somebody pulling my groceries.
Yeah,
That's what
that's the way.
when it comes time at the end of the month, Crystal goes online. She's got the Walmart app, and she'll go through and she'll just start placing the order, and they'll say, okay, we're ready for it to be picked up at such and such time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they'll let us know. We go over there, and about 5 6 minutes later, they're coming out and getting the car all loaded down. Like, we ain't got to worry about going to do
Next week will be like.
Now we'll still go in every now and then for little stuff that is not on the grocery list or something like that. But it's very rare we actually have to go in there.
Well, I've been kind of, I don't want to say forcing myself to go, but I try to go every either Saturday or Sunday morning. Um, for one, the pickup, I know you can, choose, no, not to substitute anything.
Right.
But I was running into a lot of stuff that wasn't available at all. You know, I didn't want the substitute that they were offering.
Right.
So I would rather to go and look myself, because sometimes, their inventory is a little off when you're ordering. So either it says it's in stock when you get there, hey, I'm sorry, we were out of this. Well, if I would have known, yeah, they notify you, but it's like right before, you go pick the stuff up. Well, I wasn't liking what the option were, so I just go in and, plus it makes me interact with people. So, I'm trying to get better with that.
That's why you started YouTube.
Yeah, but it's different interacting with you all on YouTube, than in person. So, my introversy is still pretty high, even though I've been doing YouTube now for a few years.
Yeah.
But I still prefer not to interact with people live. A lot of people. So.
I remember a certain time you didn't have a problem interacting with people live.
But I knew you guys from, I guess strangers. I don't like interacting with strangers, and I hate going out to eat by myself. That just
you get nobody to talk to.
Yeah, but I guess that now that I'm seeing myself as an old guy, I don't want to be the old guy sitting there by himself.
Yeah.
So, and I have a tendency to talk to myself. So, I don't want to be the old guy sitting there talking to himself.
Now, if you get into an argument and lose, then you got a problem.
Ooh, 2 cases of vinegar fell off the
Oh,
pallet and made a big mess. That'd be a heck of a lot worse than water. So.
Yeah, because the smell of vinegar. Ooh.
Exactly, Tommy. It's rewarded with food for it's like training a dog. You give the dog a snack for doing something. So I get a reward. So, but I also, a lot of times I don't know what I want. Like if I'm going to meal prep for the week, I know what I'm hungry for, but a lot of times I'll go in and it's like, oh, that looks really good. So you don't like talking to me either. Okay, Jeff.
Is that why Jeff's not up on panel?
Apparently. So, but and another thing too is, I think I'm finally going to break down, and I'm changing cell phone carriers. I'm going to go with Spectrum. There's 3 or 4 people at work that have it, the cell phone thing, and they said it's true. They're true to their word. It is $25 a month plus if you buy a phone, whatever the phone costs. And the one guy's had it for over a year and a half now, and his bill has been the same since the day he signed up. No extra fees. I'm for one line, and my phone is paid off. My cell phone bill is $95 a month. So, yeah.
That's more.
All right. Good night, Thomas. Have a good evening, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. So I am off the week between Christmas and New Year's. So I will be making a ride to the Verizon store. Even though I can do it online, I don't like to do it online. I like to talk to somebody. I mean, I know I just contradicted myself, but you know, I feel better about having, you know, it's technology stuff. You know, I want them to transfer all that stuff over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know for me, I'm paying, I think it's like $88 a month for my cell phone,
Mhm.
but that's my cell phone, Crystal, and for my tablet. Now, if I was talking, I may drop the tablet off of there because it's one that's old. It still takes the micro USB
Mhm.
charger and everything. But I mean, I'm only paying like $5 a month for it, but I'm not really using it for anything, really.
Right.
I was actually thinking about upgrading to a newer one, but that would cost money. But if I take it off, that makes it down to about $83 a month for 2 cell phones, tax and everything.
Mhm.
Which,
Yeah, I used to have my tablet on my Verizon. It was only like $10 a month extra. So, but I need a new phone anyways because um, my back is coming off my phone. It's like separating.
wow.
It won't stay together no more. So, um, so I need to get a new phone. So, and I looked online. I'm gonna go with the Galaxy 20 something or other. It's like $12 a month payment, you know, which ain't bad. So it'll make my bill like, you know, $38 a month, you know, which will save me like $60, you know, $60 for pulling tractor parts.
Yep.
And
I've
I knew that was coming.
I've got one more payment on my Lyft, January payment, and it's paid off. So that's an extra $150 a month. So awesome.
For me, I'm going through T-Mobile. That's what I've been.
I looked at T-Mobile, and I've talked to a couple people that have it. In this area, like especially where I live at, they don't got real good service. So, you know, and the strange thing is around here, I don't know where it is throughout the rest of the country, but Spectrum uses Verizon towers. So the only thing the one guy told me is when you hit X amount of gigs of data, they throttle you back. So, but it's like 30 gigs or something like that. And I've looked back over my bills. The most I've ever used was during the summer when I was out and about looking stuff up. And I think I used like 22 gigs or 25 gigs. You know, usually it's around 10 gigs of data. So, because I got Wi-Fi at work, I got Wi-Fi here, you know, so, you know.
And for me,
I got Cricket Wireless. Mine's $50 a month for 2 phones.
not bad.
Well, they're actually. Hi, Kathy. How you doing, dear? Thank you for stopping in. Spectrum right now is offering 2 lines. Buy one line, get one free for a year. I don't really need another line because I don't want to buy another tablet, and so that's not going to be a benefit that it's usable for me. But you know, it's just but I think the one guy I talked to, he's got 5 or 6 lines, and his bill before when he was with Verizon, he was over $300 a month. You know, with paying for the phones and all that kind of stuff. Now that he went to Verizon, and his daughter just got the brand newest iPhone there is, and her son or his daughter's boyfriend took her old phone, which they're still paying for. He said it's still, half of what it was when he was with Verizon. So. Oh, well, my phone will be the primary phone because it's the only one I have. So, you know, and that is supposedly unlimited talk, text, and data with the $25 a month. So, I'll be happy with it. So, like I said, hopefully, between Christmas and New Year's, I'll be getting that. That's one of my plans. My other plan is Lisa suggested going to Teespring for merch. I've been looking around. I may work on that between those two. So if anybody would like a Polar Bear t-shirt, they might be on there after the first of the year. So
Yeah, that's who I go through, Teespring.
Yeah. Well, the other company that I looked at and I designed the shirt through, they don't do on-demand printing. You have to buy X amount of shirts. And just for one sample shirt, it was $40. Yeah, so I'm like, no,
Yeah. Right. That's why I went to Teespring, because I talked to someone who did printing, referred to him, and I sent him, of course, my logo, told him what I wanted. He said, no problem, I can work with that. And for, I think, 25 shirts, I was looking at about $300. And that's paid for. I'm going, okay, I don't have that kind of money I can dish out right now.
Well, if I would buy 10 shirts, they're $20 a piece. But still, that's $200. And what sizes do I buy?
Right.
So that's what I like about the Teespring. And there was another one too that I looked at. You don't have to put a size in. It's all they handle the shipping. They handle everything. You just basically put your design up there. Now, the cost of the shirt is a little higher. It'll be like, I don't want to give a price until I actually get it done, but say it's going to be $25 instead of 20. They got to make their profit.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that, so.
Well, the Teespring, I went in there and I've already got the prices all set. I don't remember how much the shirts and everything are, but I think, they're printing them all out. They're shipping them. They're taking care of everything. And I think I might make $2 off of one shirt.
Right. And that I'm not looking to make a profit,
Right.
I just, if anybody be interested in wearing my, channel logo on them and promoting the channel, awesome. That's advertisement's good enough for me, as long, get the numbers up, get the watch time up, I'll make the profit there. I don't want to make, it makes me feel like I'm using people if I'm doing that, so. All right, y'all, it's been over an hour. Appreciate y'all again. No live stream next weekend because it will be Christmas Eve. Y'all want to spend time with your, even though you guys are like family to me, you want to, spend time, go spend time with your real family. Even if it involves you having to use alcohol, I'm okay with that for one night. So good night, everybody. Love y'all. And we'll catch you all on the next one.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye.